Hello everybody, hello Mitchell Terena artists and scientists out there. It's Carrie here again with another art and a little bit of science project for you to do at home. Today, I don't know if you can tell, but we are going to be doing shadow art. I've been thinking about the fact that the days are getting shorter, and as we get closer to the equinox, which is on September 22nd, the shadows are getting longer. The days are getting shorter, and that means the sun is coming at a lower angle, which makes our shadows bigger. So I thought we would do some shadow art. So for this project, you're going to need anything that you could use to color. I recommend the pastels that you all got from Mitchell Terena at the beginning of the school year. Those just have gorgeous, vibrant colors. You're also going to need a dark marker, or maybe more markers if you want to fill in your art with markers. You'll need a pencil, and some tape is a really handy thing to have. And then you're going to have to go hunting. You're going to have to go hunting for what's called low light, which we have more of in the mornings and the afternoons. So I'm doing this at about 3:30 in the afternoon because the sun starts getting lower in the sky and we get these gorgeous shadows. So here is an example of one that I made earlier, just so you guys can sort of see. This is my example. Yours is not going to look like this. Yours is going to look like yours. But this is just like a little one example of something that I made using shadows. So I thought I'd show you that. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to find your low light. I've got a window over here to my left, and I got these cool objects. I got this dinosaur, and I got some pencils. I've got some plants over here on my left also between me and the sunlight. So the sun is hitting the plants and making these cool shadows. And one thing that's interesting to notice is that the sun is moving all the time. So you want to make sure that your piece of paper is in sunlight. So I had to move mine over just a little bit. Hopefully you guys can still see this. So you want to tape down your piece of paper and then take your objects and just start moving them around and see what kind of shapes you can get by moving them around. I've got a dinosaur and a horse. You might just have objects that don't look like anything in particular. They just look like shapes. So once you've figured out where you want your objects to be placed, you're going to take your pencil and you're going to start outlining your objects on the page. So here I go. I'm outlining my guy here. Whoops. Make sure he stays in the same position. And I'm just going to complete him on my own. I love this horse. Love these beautiful lines. And I'm just going to do his feet on my own. And then I'm going to outline these other shapes that I have. There's some overlap, and that's okay. Ooh, the wind is blowing now. That was a factor I hadn't counted on. working with the elements here, so you gotta be You gotta be flexible, like the plants moving in the wind. Okay, so I've almost got my outline done here. Part of me would love to do this with a really big piece of paper. So if you have a really big piece of paper, you can do it as big as you want or small as you want. All right, so now that I've got my objects outlined, I'm going to go back with my marker and I am going to outline all my lines. And because this overlaps, I am going to make this form go behind this dinosaur form. So one cool thing about shadow is that it makes you think about positive and negative space, right? You've got the forms where it's dark, and that is the positive space, and then you've got all of the space outside of the forms. So you're going to go over all of your lines with your marker. I suppose you could change the color of marker you're using. I'm just using purple all the way through here because I'm feeling the color purple today. It's kind of a crazy little landscape here with a floating dinosaur. Okay, almost done. So once you have your outline done, you are going to, I like to start with the positive space. So I'm going to start filling in my shapes. And you can fill them in however you want. You could do solid colors, you could do like designs on the insides. You could have one color kind of shift into another color, kind of how I did here with my example. So you're just going to start filling in. One thing that's always really great to do is to use complementary colors. Does anybody know what complementary colors are? Like orange and purple are on opposite sides of the color wheel, so they look really good together. All right, once you have all of your shapes colored, you're going to want, ooh, look at the shadow from my bracelet, that's cool. And you don't have to, you could move this to a different surface where the light, where the shadows aren't still covering your artwork, but it's kind of fun to see the shadows move as you're doing your art. Green and purple are also complementary. Let's see. So you're just going to fill in all of the objects that made the shadows. And then once you're done with filling in all of those shapes, you're going to fill in the negative space, the space outside of the shadows. You know, one thing that I really like to do, I like to leave like a little halo of white around the marker. It makes a really cool effect. It makes makes it kind of pop. But that's just me. You get to do whatever you want. If you want to go right up against the marker line, that's great too. Anyway, I hope you have a really, really great time thinking about shadows and making this artwork. I would love to see what you make. You can post your image at Mitchell Terena Visual on Instagram. And stay safe, everybody. Take care. Bye.